Let's get right into it. Number 10. You eat spiders in your sleep. Remember when your friend told you that you eat 8 spiders a year while sleeping? Well, turns out that's about as real as those hot singles in your area ads. This fact was actually made up to prove how easily fake news spreads online. Spiders aren't exactly lining up to dive into your drooling mouth like it's some kind of amusement park ride. Your bed is basically a spider's version of a natural disaster zone. Every time you move, which is about 20 times per hour, it's like an earthquake to them, and your breathing to a spider is like standing in front of a jet engine. Plus, spiders can feel vibrations really well. That means your snoring is basically a warning siren telling them to stay away. Also, spiders aren't stupid. They're not going to walk into a warm, moist cave that's making weird noises. That's like walking into a haunted house that's actually haunted. Number 9. The brain's civil war. Remember when your teacher told you that you're either a left brain or right brain person? Left brain folks are supposed to be all logical and mathematical, while right brain people are the creative, artsy types who probably eat their cereal with a fork just to be different. Turns out your brain isn't having some internal civil war between its logical and creative sides. It's more like one big party where everyone's invited and working together. When scientists actually looked at people's brains while they were doing different tasks, both sides of the brain light up like a Christmas tree. Even Einstein, the math genius, played violin to help him think through complex problems, and Leonardo da Vinci, the ultimate artist, was also an incredible engineer and scientist. Think of your brain as a jazz band rather than a boxing match. Different parts work together, improvising and complementing each other. Your brain doesn't pick sides. It's too busy running the most complex collaboration in the known universe. Number 8. The not-so-deadly penny. You were probably taught in school that a penny dropped from the Empire State Building could kill someone. Well, turns out that's about as real as your dad's promise to come back from buying milk. Pennies are actually pretty terrible at being deadly weapons. When a penny falls, it doesn't turn into some kind of copper bullet of doom. Instead, it acts more like a drunk butterfly at a party. It just sort of flutters down, spinning and wobbling through the air. Even if it hit you on the head, it would feel about as dangerous as getting slapped by a mosquito. The reason is simple. Pennies are too light and too flat. They reach what scientists call terminal velocity, which is just a fancy way of saying as fast as it can possibly fall. For a penny, that's only about 25 miles per hour. For comparison, that's slower than your grandma power walking to a Black Friday sale. Scientists have actually tested this. The result is the penny just bounces off people like sad confetti. Number 7. The lungs of the earth. Your teachers called the Amazon the lungs of the earth. They told us it produces 20% of Earth's oxygen. Turns out that's about as accurate as saying your cat helps pay the rent. The Amazon does produce a ton of oxygen through photosynthesis, but the rainforest is also really good at consuming oxygen. All those plants, animals, and especially the billions of microorganisms in the soil are breathing, taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. It's like having a roommate who makes great meals but eats everything they cook. There are no leftovers. Scientists say the Amazon's net oxygen contribution is close to zero. Most of our oxygen comes from tiny organisms in the ocean called phytoplankton. We've been thanking the wrong organisms this whole time, but the Amazon is still incredibly important. It stores massive amounts of carbon, controls weather patterns, and houses millions of species. It's just not the oxygen factory we thought it was. More like Earth's thermostat than Earth's lungs. Number 6. Blood is blue before it hits oxygen. Those science textbooks showing blue blood in your veins were a lie bigger than your teacher saying you won't have a calculator in your pocket. Blood is never blue. Not in your body. Not in test tubes. Not even in royal families. The whole blood is blue until it hits oxygen thing is like saying your sandwich turns into a burger when you take it outside. All your blood is red. Always. It just comes in different shades. Like a really morbid paint sample card. When blood is full of oxygen, it's bright red. Think fresh strawberry smoothie. When it's low on oxygen, it's darker red. More like that smoothie you forgot in the back of your fridge for a week. Your veins look blue because of how light travels through your skin. The blue color is basically your body playing a trick on your eyes, like those optical illusions that make you question reality. Different wavelengths of light penetrate your skin at different depths, and blue light bounces back to your eyes when it hits your veins. Scientists have actually drawn blood from veins without exposing it to air. It was still red, just darker red, like a goth version of regular blood. Number 5. The slowest liquid. You've probably heard this one in school. Old church windows are thicker at the bottom because glass is actually a super slow-moving liquid. Your teacher probably told you that over hundreds of years, Glass slowly flows downward like honey dripping from a spoon. Turns out this is completely wrong. Those old church windows aren't thicker at the bottom because the glass is flowing. They're thicker at the bottom because medieval glassmakers were terrible at their jobs. Back then, making perfectly flat glass was about as impossible as trying to fold a fitted sheet. When they made windows, they'd get these uneven sheets of glass with one end thicker than the other. They put the thick end at the bottom, because apparently even medieval builders knew that putting the heavy end on top was asking for trouble. Scientists have calculated that for glass to flow noticeably, you'd need to wait longer than the universe has existed. So unless you're planning to stick around for a few trillion years, you won't see your windows turning into puddles. Number 4. The lightning strike rule. You were probably taught in school that lightning never strikes the same place twice. Not only is that completely wrong, but believing it could actually get you killed. The Empire State Building gets hit by lightning about 25 times every year. The same building getting zapped over and over like it owes Zeus money. And it's not just tall buildings. Lightning actually prefers to strike the same places repeatedly. Think about it. If you were a bolt of lightning, would you rather hit a random patch of grass? Or a nice tall metal structure that's already proven to be a great conductor? People have actually died taking shelter under trees during storms, thinking, well, this tree was already hit once, so I'm safe here. Spoiler alert, they weren't. So next time you're caught in a storm, that whole never strikes twice thing is about as reliable as your uncle's get-rich-quick schemes. Get inside a building, and if you can't find shelter, avoid being the tallest thing around. Number 3. The post-meal swim scare. You remember that rule your mom would scream across the pool? Get out right now. You just ate a sandwich 28 minutes ago. You've got 2 more minutes or you'll sink like a rock. Turns out this was about as scientific as your uncle's theory that watching TV upside down makes you smarter. Scientists have looked into this whole wait 30 minutes after eating thing, and they're basically laughing at all our moms. Your body does send some extra blood to your digestive system to help with digestion, but it's not like your legs suddenly become useless noodles that can't keep you afloat. If this was true, we'd have daily news reports about people dramatically sinking at pool parties. Local man ignores 30-minute rule, transforms into human submarine. The worst that might happen is you feel a bit sluggish, like when you try to run after Thanksgiving dinner. This myth was so powerful that entire generations of kids sat at the edge of pools, counting down the minutes like they were defusing a bomb. So next time someone tells you to wait 30 minutes after eating before swimming, you can tell them that science says they're wrong. Just don't tell your mom. Some battles aren't worth fighting. Number 2. The daddy longlegs myth. The most dangerous spider that isn't actually a spider and isn't actually dangerous. People say daddy longlegs are the most venomous spiders in the world, but their fangs are too small to bite you. That's like saying I'm the world's strongest person. I just can't lift anything. What we call daddy longlegs usually aren't even spiders. They're harvestmen, different creatures that are more closely related to scorpions than spiders. Cellar spiders, the actual spider version of daddy longlegs, do have venom, but it's weaker than a mosquito bite, and their fangs aren't even too small to bite humans. They can and sometimes do bite people. It just doesn't do anything. It's like being attacked by a very angry cotton ball. Number 1. The sun is yellow. The sun isn't actually yellow. It's white, like printer paper white. We see it as yellow because of Earth's atmosphere. When sunlight hits our atmosphere, it gets scattered around like a bunch of ping-pong balls in a lottery machine. The blue light gets scattered the most, which is why we see a blue sky. But the yellow and red lights make it through more easily, so by the time the sunlight reaches your eyes, it looks yellow. Astronauts in space see the sun as brilliant white, and NASA has to artificially color their photos of the sun yellow, because that's what we expect to see. It's like putting a filter on your Instagram photos. But for science, we've been drawing the sun wrong our entire lives. Every children's book, every logo, every emoji, all wrong. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.